Hello and welcome back. As always, thank you so much for joining me here on YouTube. We've got quite a lovely couple of days ahead, but I wanted to show you a couple of updates in the cottage garden just to kind of start off the video right. I finally got around and the sage has had a hard prune back. I'm hoping it is gonna kind of bounce back. You can see here, this is all starting to come back, so fingers crossed. Lemon balm is bouncing back as well. No movement as yet on the garlic that we planted up last Wednesday. But I popped a little bit of straw on the top just to kind of keep the soil moist, but yeah. Let's hope we get some growth soon. And then the big change will be here in the orchard. Let me get like a good... Now, this is not going to be a case of what can you see, but more so a case of what you cannot see. And if you've been here over the last couple of weeks, you will know that I had a rogue pumpkin, a massive vine that had sprouted into multiple vines, and it had gone all through the orchard. That has finally been removed, thank very much to my mother. I get quite a significant rash if I handle pumpkin vines. The little sort of hair-like follicles along the stems just... I basically break out in hives. So Mum very kindly has removed that so that I can get back down into the orchard. There was a pumpkin growing on it, however it had gotten so large and unruly that it was actually starting to kill off a lot of the plants in the orchard. Pumpkins tend to like a lot of water, and so it was just taking all the water from the other plants, and they were all really starting to struggle. You can see even in like the cut flowers, because it was kind of coming down here, it just had squished everything. It was blocking the sprinkler system. It just needed to go, unfortunately. So hopefully everything will bounce back in the orchard over the next couple of days. We shall see. Apologies if the lighting is just terrible. It is actually afternoon, so the angle of the lighting is not the best, but I wanted to show you that. But I also wanted to show you... Oh, can you... Oh, you can't really see. Which direction can I go here? If I move kind of into the shade, can you start to see? Maybe you can see a few here. Some of the golden leaves starting up. The white crepe myrtle is about to get her autumn colour. Can you see? See? Just slowly starting to turn with the cooler nights we've been getting. Autumn, just such a sign of autumn. The changing of the leaves here. Makes me so happy to see like this sign of the change of the seasons. So yeah, I came out this morning basically and saw the leaves changing colour, and makes me happy. Makes me very happy. So if you watched last week's video to the end, you'll know that I picked up quite a number of bags of organic soil for the kitchen garden beds. So I'm not sure I'm going to have time to get in here straight away. I'm hopeful that we will try and tackle this in this video, but let's kind of just play it by ear and see what happens. I've actually got a lot going on at the moment. So we're just doing the best we can. Look how lush. Oh gosh, I'm blocking it. Hold on. Afternoon sun, people. Afternoon sun. Look how lush the spinach is looking. I cannot believe that spinach survived all of summer. That was I don't know, I mean, again, if you've been subscribed for a little while, you might remember I got this spinach gifted. It was little tiny cuttings from a girl that I work with, and she very kindly gave it to me, like gifted it. And it has just been the gift that keeps on giving. It has done so well all summer. I've been able to eat it, and obviously now as we're getting into the cooler months, it is looking particularly lush. But otherwise, everything else is looking really lovely. We're sort of slowly working through cutting things back. You can see the ginger in the turmeric here are just starting their process of dying off. If you've ever grown ginger and turmeric, you'll know it will kind of die off in the middle of winter. So for me, it'll start to die off probably June, I would say. It'll be basically completely died off, and then I leave it for maybe a week or two, and then generally in July is the big harvest. So I've done that with you, I think the last 2 years in a row, and I'm sure I'll do it with you again, but we'll definitely get in and harvest all the ginger and turmeric. Desperately need to pick up some more rose fertilizer. Oh, the sun. I'm blocking all the light. Roses are all doing really well. Those mini roses just like grow constantly. All year round I get mini roses. I'm not sure if that's normal or not. And the Gaura, do you remember it got that really, I mean you can see here it got that massive prune back, and look, little tiny leaves all starting back. So nice. And the mini Tibicina, peace baby, little mini peace baby. Oh, look at her gorgeous flowers. Well, little garden update done. Now today I'm hoping to be quite productive. I've had a productive morning, which is why I've only just started vlogging now. But I want to head to the garden centre. There were a few plants when we went last week together. There were a few plants that I left that I actually wish now that I'd bought. So I'm hoping I can pop in there quickly and they'll still be there. Fingers crossed. Mum also would like to join us for that, so she wants to have a little potter around as well. So we're going to head to the garden centre now, and then from there I am going to treat Mum and myself to a bit of a takeaway lunch, late lunch, early dinner. I'm craving a burger. And I am quite partial to the burgers at Grilled, and the closest one to me is actually at the beach. So I thought I would bring you along for the drive and kind of just show you the beaches that we have here. I have taken you to the beach before. You've come to the beach and we've had a beach day together, but it's been a little while. Summers here, while you would think summers would be a good time for the beach, the summers are so blistering hot. They're humid. It's our rain season. We get lots of rain, lots of cloud cover, all that kind of thing. So I have to say, I personally am partial to the beach in sort of autumn, winter, spring. I mean, not the, deep winter, but autumn, early winter and spring is gorgeous at the beach here. So I thought I would maybe just, if we've got time, take you for a little drive around the sort of beach area there. It's absolutely gorgeous. Pick up some lunch. I'll show you sort of the main beach areas, and then we will head home and kind of see what the day brings. I definitely need to get into some gardening, even if it's just light gardening, like cutting things back, some weeding and that. I'll see how much time, as I said, I'll see how much time I've got, whether we can kind of start to tackle this or not. I'm debating about the pineapples as well. I don't know whether to put them in a temporary home, so I'm not feeling pressured to get them in, or do I just make the effort and try and get them in their kind of like final positionings. I'm not sure. We will see how we go. All right, let's head off. interesting piece. It's a Malaysian orchid. I'll show you the label on it. I think it's gorgeous. I was thinking about those, and then the other thing I was thinking about were these. Now I got the dark purple of the butterfly bush, but you can see they've got it in like the lighter pink and the white, and I kind of wanted them. I'm so thankful they still have them. I think the white was a little bit bigger. Yeah, it gets a little bit bigger, but so nice. Just having a little wander. They've got all their vegetables over there, and then they've got fruit trees. I had a good look through the fruit trees last time, so I don't think that that's necessary at the moment. So Mum and I are just eyeing these two hydrangeas. So you can see this one here has got like the lace cap head, and then this one here hasn't got any flowers on it at the moment, but they're two different types. This one is the Trailblazer, which I've got a few of those in the garden already, and it's quite hardy. I've got a particular space in mind. And then this one here is an Oriental Evergreen hydrangea, and it gets quite big. It gets about 2 meters, but again, I've got a fairly specific place in mind that I think could handle that kind of height. So we're thinking we might pick up those two. Right, plants secured in their box. Let's go and get some lunch and have a look at the beach. So we have arrived at Hastings Street. This is just Noosa Woods area, as you can see by the sign. It's a really sort of pretty area. It's near the Noosa River mouth. So we thought we'd just head on down here and I'll sort of show you where the river mouth kind of joins the ocean. And then we'll sort of swing around to the French Quarter area and I'll show you the beaches and stuff on that side. But this is sort of not necessarily an open beach, it's more of a river mouth beach situation. So it's slightly different, but you'll see anyway when we go around the other side the difference between the two. So as I said, this is the Noosa River mouth. So you've got your river here, and then quite nice calm water. It's always lovely here if you've got kids in that, because the water, there's not a lot of waves. And then out this way, here is the ocean. So yeah, it's kind of where the river and the ocean join, and you can see there's like a little sort of area here of like beach where people have like set up. It's late afternoon now, so there's a few people left with their umbrellas and that out, just enjoying the water and the sunshine. can see people are on their boats, they go out fishing in that. It can get really low tide here, so you do definitely have to watch your tides. But you can see there's a few boats, jet skis. So just heading back down Hastings Street now towards the French Quarter. So this side, that's the ocean on that side. So you've just got this sort of row of shops and then the beach is right there, and you'll be able to see it where we're going. I'll be able to sort of show you what this looks like from the other side. But this is main sort of Hastings Street area. As you can see, there's heaps of restaurants, shops. It's actually, there's all accommodation here and that. It's just a really pretty street. Very nice. It's gorgeous to have breakfast here, particularly on this side. There's a really nice restaurant. Just through here, the beach, you might be able to sort of see, you can kind of see that's like a beach access point there. There's a gorgeous restaurant there on the beach where you can have breakfast, and Mum and I have gone many times and had breakfast there. But yeah, so a very nice street to kind of come to, spend, you know, half a day, a full day down here, eating and just shopping, enjoying the beach. So just coming up on the French Quarter area here, again, you've got restaurants, lots of accommodation up at this end, food places, I think ice cream, cafes, bakeries, that sort of thing. But I think mainly more of the accommodation up this sort of end. So this is Main Beach at Noosa. You can see how absolutely packed it is. We're actually in school holidays at the moment, which is why there are so many people here. But it's a really gorgeous beach. Gorgeous white sand. The water's usually, as you can see today, it's normally not very rough at all. There's sort of just really nice small waves. Gorgeous, just, yeah, gentle waves. Really nice to be able to sort of spend a couple of hours down here. And then where we were just driving was along this area here. So this is the other side of those shops. And you can see there's like, so there's just quite a large number of restaurants here that just look out on this view. And in the morning when you have breakfast, it is absolutely incredible. We'll definitely have to come down here as the weather cools down a little bit. Come down here and have some breakfast and enjoy the morning views from here. That is such a nice beach. You can probably just hear the wind over the microphone, I'm sure. So just heading towards Noosa National Park, and you can see just here on the side there's this boardwalk. It's such a gorgeous walk. I have actually taken you on that walk before, so if you'd like to see that, sort of walking along here and then all the views, because you do get all the ocean views through when you're going down the walk, you can definitely watch that video. But yeah, it's so pretty up here towards the national park. This little beach area here is called First Bay. It's quite the pain to get to, but it's always really lovely and almost like a pool. You can see like how still the water is there with the beach. If you can see just down here, you can see the boardwalk here, like through all of the trees and that, and you actually get to sort of walk all the way down there along sort of the cliff there with the water. It is the most stunning walk. Can you see the sunshine just glittering off the water? Beautiful. We'll have to do it again. When the weather gets a little bit cooler, I'll take you down again and we can go for a walk along the boardwalk here and take in the gorgeous views. And then just through here is the national park, but we obviously won't go there today, but I'll just show you the beach in this area. So this is also one of my favorite beaches. It is absolutely gorgeous here, and you can see how calm the waves are. Often surfers will come here, and you can often get really good waves sort of just out through this area. So you can see a few of the surfers here heading out. But to give you some perspective, so over here, that's sort of the beach where we just were. So where we were was further down this way, but it's like a long sort of open beach, and that is the beach there. So that's sort of main Hastings Street on that side. I don't know if you can see how clear the water is from here, but like you can see all of the straight through into like where the rocks and that are. So beautiful, and the sound of the ocean is so lovely. I always feel so lucky that I have this basically on my doorstep. All right, lunch is probably ready, so let's head off and go and pick up my lunch order. So have picked up our burgers for lunch, and we're gonna head on home now and have this. I'm actually starving. It's quite late, so it's definitely a late lunch, early dinner situation. Would you look at that sunset? The afternoon has well and truly gotten away from me after I sort of got home and had grilled and that. I just had a bunch of admin that needed to be done, so I've done that, and I've just very quickly whipped outside. I've got my watering can out. I just want to water some of the pots. I want to water the strawberries, the garlic, a couple of the hydrangeas, that sort of thing. But I just thought I would stop to admire that sunset. Oh my goodness, it's gorgeous. All the birds. I can hear someone in the very far distance mowing. It's quite late for them to be mowing now, I suppose, but wow, what a gorgeous day. Well, I'm going to get to watering my pots before it gets any darker, and I will see you in the morning. Good morning. It is the next day and I'm out in the garden with Mum, and we are going to pot up the pineapples. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it to you in this video, if not this video, maybe last week's video, that I'm kind of wanting to do the pineapples in a bit of an intermediary sort of pot. But before we head over there, I just wanted to show you how incredible the Cinderella climbing rose is doing. Look at all of that growth. I can't believe it. I'm so excited for her to bloom in the next couple of, I think she blooms in the next couple of months, so we'll definitely be going through and like re-threading all this through, but she's looking so gorgeous. And the Sweet Laguna in the tower is also looking really good. Just needs a little bit more threading through there, but otherwise everything is looking great in the garden. What else did I want to show you? Oh, just over here, let me take you around. I wanted to show you, this is the Mona White that we planted a while back now. But look how gorgeous, she's flowering again. And they're like little trumpet flowers, which are really sweet. Almost got a little sort of purple touch to them. But everything in this garden bed is looking so nice. What else is happening? The salvia that had the really hard prune back, you can see it's got all new flowers coming through, so that's lovely. Let's head around to the pineapples. On second thought, just before we go around to the pineapples, I thought I would very quickly just show you the plants that I picked up yesterday at the garden centre. I'm very conscious that the sun was not the best and the lighting was very bright, so you might not have been able to see it very well. So sorry, I just got distracted by the little tiny, you see the little new little sprouts in there? Sorry. But so I did end up picking up the two hydrangeas. So this one here is the first one. Hydrangea Oriental Evergreen. Fantastic Oriental Evergreen Hydrangea is frost and drought tolerant and self-cleaning. It is best grown in the semi-shade and has glossy dark green leaves. It can be grown in full sun if fertilized and watered regularly. Grows up to 2 meters after a few years. Best to sheet back once a year after flowering in early summer. Low maintenance. That is what we like to hear. So I picked this one up for a space that I want to go with the a space that I've got on the front patio. I'm very keen to circle back around to that patio project that we started towards the end of last year, now that the weather's a little bit cooler. And then I also picked up the Trailblazer hydrangea as well. Similar, I think it'd go really well out the front. I'm pretty sure I read this one to you yesterday, so I won't do that again. I've got a couple of the Trailblazers, not this particular variety, but I do have a few of the Trailblazers already. And this one already has gorgeous bloom. Gosh, they're pretty. And then you can see all the soil. And then I did pick up these double pink impatiens. So I've got the white impatiens in the crepe myrtle bed, and I thought these pink ones would be a really gorgeous addition. They're absolutely beautiful. All right, let's head around now to the, oh look. Look at this one's just starting to open. Isn't that gorgeous? They're like little tiny roses. It's full of buds. Oh, it's gonna look stunning in a couple of weeks. All right, to the pineapples. So you will remember that we sort of planted the garlic up in a temporary pot before it goes into the kitchen garden beds. I haven't had a chance to sort of start working on the kitchen garden beds, but hopefully maybe next week I'll have some time for that. But I'm thinking I want to do the same thing with the pineapples. The pineapples have been, again, you'll remember, we propagated them. I've got 5. We've got these 2 here in the water, and hopefully you can see these 2 here. There's 2 in this one and 1 here. So they've been in these water planters for quite a while now, and I'm just a little bit worried about putting them directly into the garden where they've not really been in full sun before, and they've obviously had access to water 24/7. So I think just kind of dumping them with no support is probably not going to be the best thing. So what I'm going to do is do a bit of a temporary pot. And so you've got this barrel pot here, and I'm just going to do, well, bless Mum, she's already put dirt in there, but we're just going to do a sort of a small layer of soil at the bottom. It's just a temporary pot, so I don't want to waste any of the soil. And then we might just plant up these 5 in this pot. And that way I can kind of keep an eye on them maybe for about a month and just let them get used to being in full sun, and maybe start to alternate the watering. So don't water them every day, maybe water them every second day, and then slowly kind of wean them off that, in the hope that they will acclimatise to that, and then I can plant them out into the garden. So that is the plan of action. As I said, got the pineapples here. We've got the dirt. I generally just use this organic potting mix dirt. And yeah, let's get, I mean, it's very straightforward. Just going to kind of put some little holes in. They've all kind of got different root systems so far. Like you can see, this one here has got quite the number of roots. This little tiny fella has got a few little ones there, and then the others are the same. They've kind of got roots a bit similar to this one. So we'll just sort of plant them up, and obviously this top part here just sort of stays out of the ground, and we'll see how they do. All right, so I have my glamorous assistant Mum who is helping me here. So we've just as I said, we've just done the layer of soil, and Mum's just sort of smoothed it out, and then you can see we've literally just pulled them straight out of it, and she's just going to plant them in with obviously the little crowns, like the pineapple tops, sitting out of the soil, and trying to just prop them up as best as we can. Fairly straightforward and easy thing to do, but this pot is not going to be big enough for all 5 of them, so they definitely will have to get moved later on. But I think just sort of putting them straight into the garden in full sun with, you know, being only watered twice a week or something, is just going to be a little bit too much for them. And so again, that's actually grown a lot, hey, since like when it was just a little top. That's put on so much growth. And just trying to make sure that the roots are as covered as they can. I mean, this is the first time that these little pineapples have been in dirt, so that's probably a shock as well, I imagine.
Well, there's nutrients in this dirt.
Well, that's what I'm hoping.
Which they're not getting in that water.
In the water, no. That's because I've not fertilised the water or anything. Look at this little fella.
I know, it's a shame we have to put him in there with them big guns, but
I know.
Anyway.
It's only for a little while.
Oh, there's 2 here.
Yeah, there's 2 in that one. You can see. So yeah, fairly self-explanatory. We'll get them all in, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So all the little pineapples are in. You can even see like the little tiny one over here. I've just basically used the water that was in their little glass jars to water them for now. I'll give them a good drink in later this afternoon, but they are all settled in their temporary home, and I'll be very curious to see how they go with sort of being in more of like full sunlight, and as I slowly kind of start to wean them off of having so much water. Fingers crossed that they sort of toughen up and harden up enough for me to be able to plant them out in the garden with everything else. But I think that is going to be all from me for this week's video. We've done a little bit of everything. We've been to a garden centre, we've headed to the beach, I've shown you around down at the beach. We've done the pineapples and got them out. I've been meaning to do that for ages, so it feels really good to have had that task kind of ticked off of my list. We had a little bit of a garden catch up earlier in the video, so I won't sort of walk around too much here. But otherwise, it's just been a lovely, couple of days there. As always, I really enjoy spending it with you. All right. I hope you have an absolutely incredible rest of your week. I will see you next Wednesday for another new video. Bye.